Hello everybody. I am using a new microphone today, so tell me if there are audio issues. But you are not experiencing technical difficulties as far as this pixel bit goes. If you guys have not been following along on Discord, this is what I've been working on in the very recent, since yesterday, probably since yesterday afternoon, I think. This, I actually don't know how to get out of this. I'm using a new microphone today, so tell me if there are audio issues. Hold on a second, my preview's still playing somehow in the background, and it's freaking me out. So, what we're looking at here is a GIF I made, unfortunately not properly sorted. But what I did is I performed a little experiment. I guess I should start from the beginning. For those of you guys that probably weren't on the last one. I am really quiet. Alright, let me try some. How about now? Better? Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Alright, we're gonna go with that. Right. So, some of you guys are probably interested in ChaosCraft. We're gonna cover a little ChaosCraft today, and then we're gonna talk about the game jam coming up and my preparation for it. And maybe even this game, because this game's kind of fun. But I found some cool game jam games. Still a little quiet? Alright, I'm gonna lean into the microphone a bit here. Directional. Whoa, it's in the red now. I switched it to directional and I think it just got really loud. I guess I should say, welcome Super Jerry, Mechanist, and anybody else that is listening and has not said hello yet. We have a mediocre stream resolution going on, so I don't know what I can do about that. So you guys already know, for the most part, at least you two that I can see around here, that I'm looking at sign up for the Game Jam game. So I said one thing I've been thinking about for a while is what I call Chaos Pixel, and that is where I generate the assets for the game on the fly. It'd be really cool to have to boast that, like, one of the first games where all the assets were completely AI generated. Now, do I think I can do that for this particular game? No, probably not. But I think we can do some of them, maybe, if we're lucky. But I wanted to start on it so we could at least get it ready, because I wouldn't mind doing this again in 4 months with the fully AI generated assets. So, well, now I can hear you. Wonderful. So this is where we went. So I pulled down, the Keras-GAN, and I can post this thing. I think I actually posted it a little earlier. Keras-GAN from GitHub, and it took me a while to figure out how to do this, because they keep giving you this minimalist thing. They always want you to learn how to write letters and numbers and stuff, or it's just numbers, and it's really annoying. So I copied over the GAN example into here, and it looks kind of like this. And I honestly don't really know Python that well. I mean, in college I did know it at some point, because I wrote a 3D engine that rotates stuff, but I don't really know it now. So it's kind of a crazy language. Like, my mind is still tripping out about what the heck they meant with the semicolons as a value. It's insane. Either way, after a lot of working around and figuring out how to import my own images, and then figuring out how to make them color, because the example I used pulled them in a weird way that I couldn't get RGB color. I finally have been making color. And Super Jerry and Mechanist, since you guys have been following along, you guys have already seen the results of the first one, but I'll just recap. The first one I tried to do pixel generated trees. So I had a handful of pixel generated trees that I pulled down, and this is a first attempt at it. Let's see, this is like, let's go with the 1000th attempt at it, and then the 3000th attempt. Oh, there was also some pictures of cats that I think messed it up too, because those I think were getting parsed into this. And you can see we're eventually around the 20,000th mark. We're getting pretty solid here. And the final one, because we were doing 30,000 epochs, and I should have done 30,001, we got to this, which I thought was pretty good. And we're only doing 32 pixels, 32 by 32. Excuse me, I'm finishing my lunch here. I was trying to eat before I got on here so I didn't end up starving like I normally do, and then I get hangry. And I did the same thing. Right now we're running one with cats. We're at the 8,000th epoch. So 0 looks like this. You can see it's pretty random. And we'll look at 1,000. And we're starting to see that it realizes it needs a white background, and there's some type of subject in the center. And let's look at 2,000 or 3,000. And here we're starting to see a tail or some eyes, and it looks a little overfitted to me. Like that looks a lot like one of the sample images. So maybe I need more sample images because it's a bit overtrained right now to draw a specific. Like this one looks very much like a specific one. Maybe I need some rotated ones. We'll see. Let's check it out. I haven't seen 6,000 yet. You can see it's really fitting. This is what they talk about overfitting. It's really overfitting to this. So I need a lot more. I need a lot more pictures of cats. And the internet has no shortage of that, I suppose. And let's check out the most recent one, which is 7,800. And you can just see it's a bit overfitted in a lot of ways, but hopefully I'm going to let it run. My computer's been crashing, not non-stop, but a lot lately because of this. I'm going to let it run for 100,000 epochs. And I should probably put this in its own repository, because right now I've got nothing. It's just all on its own repository. Not that I need any more Git repositories, as I have hundreds. But I'll put this out there so you guys can take a look. What I think would be a great product would be something where you just give it a directory with labeled images in it, and it just does this, and you don't have to get all fancy and have all this code. Like, this is the amount of stuff I had to do to get this to work was ridiculous. Like, and Keras is supposed to be like the way of doing this without having to do a ton of work. It's like, get out of here. It was a ton of work still. But it's kind of cool. Where do you have your modified code? Super Jerry. You probably wrote this before I said it, but I need to put it on GitHub. We can do that right now, I suppose. Hey, we got 3 viewers, and the stream's resolution is good. Welcome, 3rd viewer. So to catch you up, we are generating our own pixel art that kind of looks like a cat and kind of looks like a tree, but it's meant to be. This one's actually meant to be trees, and I fixed the color on this one now, so I have to rerun the tree experiment again. I think I'm running at 32 bits. Yeah, 32 bits. So, does anybody have any questions on this? I guess, Super Jerry, you want me to put this online somewhere. Hey, Pikas. I like the way the video started, though. That's for sure. Very bright. Let's see. In addition to that, I set up code pipelines. So this is for the game stuff. Games.schematical.com is now this very basic React.js app that I can push out to. Pikas, are you asking? Well, I guess I'll start from the top here. So there's a game jam coming up that I like Super Jerry's oversimplification of the project, generating cats and trees. I mean, that is what it is, but it's more complex than that. But this Let Them Dare has a game jam coming up, and I love ChaosCraft, but I definitely, when I saw this, I'm like, I could use a breather for a minute. I wouldn't mind doing some type of game jam in the near future. I do love hackathons, and if you guys want to check out my background with hackathons, check out the TechCrunch Disrupt 2000, I think it was 2012 San Francisco hackathon winners, grand prize. So me just blatantly bragging there. This site's got something wrong with it where you can't just click the stuff. It doesn't like actually let you go there. Like, it's not quite right there. But it looks cool. So either way, I want to do this game jam, and so I set up code pipeline. I know you're not supposed to write code beforehand, and I didn't write anything that was related to the game. I just put up a generic build pipeline so I could deploy to games.schematical.com and games API, I think it is, .schematical.com. And if you look at the repo, it is just a plain black and white. There's like nothing going on with it. Let's see. There you go, contraband. It's just a basic express hello world on the back end that anybody could set up in about 2 minutes. That is just this hello world, and it's got a heartbeat route, so that way that the code, the pipeline, the build pipeline can build it. And this is just the most basic React app that you can code generate in about 30 seconds if you know the commands, and have up and running. So what format is the training data in? Screenshots. It is just screenshots that I took. So jumping back over here, so this is peripherally directed to the game jam. I had an idea for a project I'm calling Chaos Pixel right now for a while. In Chaos Pixel, I wanted to be able to generate game assets on the fly, and I thought it'd be really cool to just be able to feed in some type of program. Oh man, I put a try catch around here. Got to 9,000 this time. That sucks. Alright, we're gonna come back to that because it just errored out, and it shouldn't. There's a try catch. Evidently, try catches in Python don't work at all. So coming back to that. So either way, I wanted to generate this stuff. So I gave them like this. They're just screenshots of various cats and trees and whatnot that I found. I hope that they are, I mean, speaking blatantly here, I'm not going to use the images that I've used to train here like in my game or anything, so they won't get published anywhere. I guess if I pull one up on the stream you could see it, but it's just a screenshot. They're all different sizes, but I tried to stay kind of close to there. So it's if you are the owner of one of these images, they're not going in the game. We're just using it to train AI. It's science, darn it. Yeah, screenshots. Super Jerry, I threw this thing together pretty quickly. This is not like my official thing. Hello, Knowledge. How's it going? Welcome to the party. Let's see. So, yeah, today, in case you're just jumping in, we've been generating pixel art using a generational adversarial neural network, and I'm potentially going to use it to generate game assets for a hackathon game I'm planning on doing. It may not be this one, but it might be the next one. And the project is tentatively named Chaos Pixel because these pixels are rather chaotic. And it just froze because my Python try catch statement didn't quite work right, so I've got to figure out what happened there. Let's take a look how far we got though. We made it to 88,000 before it froze. And so our cat neural network is a little bit overtrained. Our cat model, I guess. It's starting to look like they see this cat over here. Can I do it? No. I don't know how to scroll with this. Well, either way, this cat over here is a bit overtrained there, but we only got a handful of samples, which is part of the problem, is I actually only have about 20 images. But the tree one turned out pretty good. It froze a lot less, but the tree one wasn't in color properly. It was like some weird offset of green. But this is me training it to do trees at 30,000 epochs, 30,000 cycles basically. So I need to fix this try catch statement. If anybody knows Python, I sure as heck don't. So feel free to chime in. But this try, I guess maybe it's only catching assertion errors. Like, I don't know if there's a second type of error. Yeah, no, there's not. Alright, I got the documentation up over here somewhere. Not that one. Not that. That's Jimmy John's. There we go. This is what I'm looking for. I guess I could just say print. There's a way to do two of them. Okay, that's good. There's not like a base error that I could do. Alright. So for those of you guys that don't know, a try-catch loop is supposed to catch errors, but evidently doesn't catch this random error that doesn't happen until you're 9,000 in. So all I need to do is just skip don't render the darn photo. Just skip over it. That's all I want. Keep going because we need to get to 100,000. Can you run? Let's see. Can you run machine learning on the graphics memory? Knowledge asks that question. On the graphics memory, I think I need. I'm not following the question anyway. You can be a little more specific with that knowledge. Pika says use the Python docs. Yep. We used a form of Python docs. I think I was just being too specific with the type of error that I copied and pasted in there. Let's see. I'm reading these backwards. Super Jury says, I also want to run this. 20 is indeed not a lot. I mean, I will put this on GitHub eventually. Let's see if I can chuck it on Discord right now. And I strongly... Okay, I can't put it on Discord, it's too long. I'll put it on GitHub somewhere in a minute. I strongly recommend using PyCharm. Is it an overload error? No. Evidently, it does RGB values for every single pixel, and the RGB value needs to be between 0 and 1. And 99.9% of the time, it's between 0 and 1, but every once in a while, it's not. Like, it's literally was able to render every pixel. Oh, not. This is the wrong folder. Every pixel of every one of these images, which is like. That's a lot of pixels, all the way up to 8,000. I guess it was on the 9,000th one it blew up, and I put it. I said just error out quietly. Created just. I mean, if I'm going to do that, I might as well just put it on GitHub. I guess I can do that while I'm talking. What do you want to call this thing? Chaos Pixel, duh. I already named it. I should probably not just type it in, I actually should create it here. Every time. I mean, how many repositories? 181 repositories, and that's not even all of them, because in schematical-team there's a bunch more. I got so many repositories. Someone would think I was just sitting up here like I was an AI that just created a random repository. Chaos Pixel. Did I spell right? I feel like I'm spelling that right. Yay. Alright. Available underneath the Apache 2 license. Oh, crap. It's not going to let me do it right now because it's I'll have to do this off camera. Well, we'll do the hackiest thing possible, and we will use the GitHub user interface to get this up there for you. I have two-factor authentication on my GitHub, and I haven't used Python since I turned it on, so it's asking for more stuff. So I gotta go through some setup, and it would require me to show fanciness. Alright, Super Jerry. There you go. Alright. Pika has asked if I cannot spell pixel. Good question. I'm dyslexic as heck, and so I just don't trust my spelling a lot of times. You'll find a lot of spelling errors in my work. But if you got anybody that's... I'm not complaining about it really, because there's such a thing called the dyslexic advantage, which I fully utilize to its fullest extent. A lot of architects are dyslexic. The reason I can draw or break down biomechanics the way I do, or do a lot of things because of my dyslexia or my other things. I mean, actually, I mumbled as a child and was a horrible communicator, and so I've put a lot of effort into it to become a better communicator. This being one of them. It's a work in progress, as you can see. Knowledge says, got to create that AI that teaches itself how to code. Yeah, that's, and Super Jerry says that's how you destroy the world. Yeah. Or you could wait and be patient. Rip. My uni is trying to. Knowledge says my uni is trying to teach AI how to code. It's an interesting thing. I mean, with ChaosCraft Nito version 2, it's a neural net that creates neural nets. So, yeah. All right. Either way, the file's up there in GAN. We are running again. Hopefully, catching errors like right now. We'll find out. And I already showed you guys my setup for the game. Again, it's just a vanilla setup, but that way I can just push something to this and it'll just show up on games.schematical.com or games API as quickly as I get it. So I haven't even set up data stores. I haven't set up anything really besides just the basic vanilla React and Express setup, so I can have you guys playing on this game as fast as possible once the hackathon begins. And I'm not even sure like I'm gonna submit it like in the strict competition. There's another one just called Jam where you can just submit whatever. I'll probably submit it to that one. Yeah. I got a bunch of stuff going on later on today, and it is already 12:30. So does anybody have any questions? What would you guys like to see to work on today? I guess we could put together another data set and try and train it. Oh, I forgot to delete all these. We had 11. Let's take a look at where our AI is going. I'm still using the cats. Dang it, I meant to use the trees this time. So I think the cats are getting overfitted. The ChaosCraft jar compile. Ah. Are you going to tile the machine learning drawings? Let's see. So let's see. Starting with knowledge's question, am I going to tile the machine learning drawings? I'm not sure what you mean there, but I am going to train it to do tiles and eventually to do level design, actually. That'd be kind of cool. Because, yeah, we can take a look at that. If Super Jury reminds me how to compile that jar. I like how Mechanist knows I'm doing the live stream and is still chatting me on Discord. Dude. Yeah, Mechanist, that looks good. Are you getting, unless you're getting an error, it's probably doing it fine. As long as you keep getting like new species and eventually new generations, you should be good, man. I'm looking at this on my other screen while this boots up here. Alright, IntelliJ, Chaos. Why is this? Sorry, I'm like, why is there a ChaosNet thing in my Java IDE? But that's because it was opening up the ChaosNet Java files, actually. So right now it's being included as a jar. Gradle brew build. Alright, sorry, I'm catching up here. Super Jerry says, well, Gradle brew build is how you get the jar file. This is taking forever to boot up. Okay, so we'll run Gradle brew, whatever build, and then go from there. That's 4 a.m. there. Wow, I've been up since 4:30 this morning. Could not sleep. I have insomnia fairly frequently, especially when the seasons change. Alright. Mechanist says, I'm just getting the same bots over and over again. Alright. Well, I guess there's so many things. Alright, so since we're in ChaosCraft code, let's take a look at the response body here. We'll do the Gradle brew stuff in a second. So okay, that runs fine. Then where does the error come in, Super Jerry? If Gradle brew runs fine. The cast thread, that's it. Yeah, the streams, I don't know what to tell you about the stream lagging. I can see that it says it's not great right now. I mean, honestly, you're not watching anything that's like needs real time. This is better than last week when we were trying training the 500 member thing. I can't even use that footage. It was so choppy. It was just bad. Oh. Can you guys... This is definitely not a highlight. Actually, I could just get you the... If I log in, I could probably just get you the Swagger code. Let's just get you the Swagger code. I'm thinking about this. For those of you guys that don't know, Swagger is a way of documenting APIs. APIs being how that is Chaos. That is an API. It is a way for ChaosCraft to talk to store neural nets. It's also Super Jerry built a Pong version off of it, and Mechanist is building something similar to Chaos Trainer. God, I should have done this on a different screen. Oh man, I gotta turn on two-factor authentication for that account and change that username now. I guess not like you guys haven't seen that before. I really do need to turn on two-factor authentication though in a second. But it's not my root account. I want you all to know that. This is just a fun account, obviously. Not the root account. Alright, I'm catching up starts and stops, bits and pieces. Super Jerry says, problem is that it doesn't have the needed libraries. What specific library is it lacking, Super Jerry? Because what we can do is I can include the exact code in ChaosCraft, not in a compiled jar, if we need to. I just have to change my download functions that download this. Let's see, stages. We only got one. So I just exported the Swagger JSON, and I'm going to put that in ChaosNet for anybody that wants to play with it. And that has the most up-to-date... This is the exact thing that the ChaosCraft JavaScript SDK is built off of. And so what I can do is I can go to Swagger, I think it's swagger.io. You can look at it in raw. There's like a million ways to do this, but I'm just going to use this Swagger inspector here. Could I put it on Swagger Hub? That's kind of cool. Yeah, try Swagger inspector. Or maybe it's not Swagger inspector. Okay, evidently it's not Swagger inspector. Oop. Well, I'm learning now too, because I didn't know they had a Swagger Hub. So I think I could just list this Swagger stuff on there, so we'd have a hosted API service. Swagger editor, that's what I need. Swagger editor. Live demo. And all I gotta do here is just pull up that file I got. And so now, to make your life easier, Mechanist, so you can go and find the route we're using, which is next. And you can see the format of what you're supposed to be posting in. So that's the format, roughly. I'm not sure if you need NNet raw is true. That's more a thing because the Java SDK has its strict limitations. But if you're using different stuff, you probably don't need that. No, I don't think you need to do observed attributes either, because you don't have enough attributes. You need to use Nito. Alright. Okay, moving back to the other situation. Alright, when running the bots in a game with Gradle to run client, the screen goes blank for a minute with me. You need to... Pika says you need to run IntelliJ. Yeah, right now you need to run IntelliJ until we fix this. Where are you guys reporting the orgs in that? Mechanist, I was just looking at the code for where to report an orgs. It's in, well, where I was just looking, darn it. Orgs to report. Here we go. Right here. This is literally the exact line that posts it. This sets the report, all that stuff there. So right in chaos thread. Let's see. Mechanist deleted his message. All right. You need to run 3 tasks, says Pika. Okay, they're instructing here. Chaosnet lib. Okay, cheers. Set up dev workspace. All right. We're going through the setup here. I'm not going to narrate all this stuff. Let's see. Alright, so let's try this command for the Gradle Groove on client. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. I really don't... I mean, wait. This is Gradle build? Yeah, I can't talk. Build? Gradle build? Works better when I run it from the command line, or from there than the command line. And you guys got a lot of chatter going on there. And in the Discord, Super Jerry says the current problem is it needs ChaosNet library. I can include it, but then it complains about missing classes. But that is the jar file. Which classes is it saying it's missing though, specifically? Because I think there was a conflict. Right now I've got it included in libs, but I could take the whole source code and have it put in here, probably in here, but it complains about I think it was the HTTP request library being the wrong version for what it wanted, because there's already one included with Minecraft. So what, does anybody have the specific errors we're talking about there? Oh, crap. Forgot to take the trash out. Oh well. That was weird. Am I like so laggy that I can't hear any of you guys? I'm about to go play that game again. Ah, okay, so that's something I haven't seen before. Alright. So let's check out master. What do I have here? My computer is really running slow because we're still training those things in the back end. That might be partially why my screen's lagging a little bit, because the training session is probably taken up a bit. Well, it says I'm at 30 frames per second right now. So we'll try moving ChaosNet into ChaosCraft directly, so it won't be a separate jar. We'll see if that works. Honestly, at this rate, I'm going to be out of time soon. Let's take a look while we're waiting for that to check out at what the latest is here. We're at 2800. Well, I feel like this is going pretty slow right now compared to before. We got to 9,000 almost. I gotta figure out how to save these models too, because right now I can build them, but even when it finishes, they don't save. So I gotta figure out how to save models with Keras and TensorFlow. Alright, coming back to that. So we're back on master here. Let's copy. No. Copy path. And I have to open up yet another IDE. It's like, how many IDEs can I run at once? I'm running a Python IDE. Yeah, if my stream wasn't bad enough, I'm running a Python IDE, a Java IDE, and I'm about to open up a WebStorm, which is a JavaScript IDE, and the reason I'm doing that is because the script I use to pull down the latest copy of the SDK from Amazon API Gateway, which automatically generates it, is written in JavaScript. I know umpteen computer languages, and I barely speak English well. Isn't that how it goes? Yeah, we're just waiting for it to open up, and honestly, I think I'm running out of. You know what? I'm gonna kill this training session for now. It's just eating up too much CPU. We'll let it run some other time. We'll get our pictures of cats, people. Don't you worry. We'll get them. that should go in the highlight reel. What the hell? Sorry, man. In the middle of a screencast. I'll talk to you later. It's a friend of mine in Italy that I might be hanging out with, staying with, or I don't know. We'll see if I'm staying with him in a bit. He's out there coaching. Alright. I gotta put this on the main screen. I guess we can just close Python for now. PyCharm, that'll speed up things. Alright, oh wait, this is a contraband game. So, that's the one I was looking at. Alright, here we go. So right now, this is back-end code in the ChaosNet Lambda that pulls down the file and extracts it to a build directory, and then it zips it, or no, it runs the build thing here. So what we're gonna do, so I'm gonna move this build directory. I guess we're not gonna need to do this last bit. Yeah, we don't want that. Alright, we're gonna get rid of Get rid of a bunch of, those are all good comments actually. Get rid of these last two here and change, we're going to just make another directory called, well, we don't want to do Death Star because we already have that. We'll do real source star equals, and it's going to be that. I think will work. So let's go ahead and make it. Let's double check the build dar. So it's in a temporary directory right now. So I think, let's see what's in downloaded zip real quick. By the way, is my stream sped up a little bit? Oh man, I'm falling behind here. Sorry guys, I clicked over to Discord. Okay, let's not chat on Discord when I'm doing a YouTube stream because I get stuck over there and I forget to check this. Alright. You, Super Jerry, did you try it? You won't even need to even have the chaos lib. Super Jerry, did you try doing what I'm doing where I'm actually just pulling in the, I guess, the SRC, I guess, this thing. Take speed. Super Jerry asked what the image format was. PNG. I'm just catching up on all the stuff you guys wrote here. You got it running. Wait, did you just get it running right now? Oh, the Chaos Pixel thing. Okay, I'm like, dude, if I'm sitting here doing the Chaos Net thing and you're all good. All right. So, Super Jerry, yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to best make this thing work. So I can copy over these files that are in. Have you, Super Jerry, you've looked at the generated source code, right? It doesn't look like it's meant to be run as anything but some type of dependency. Like, you can't just, you know, you did the other way. I don't know what the other way is. Because it'll build a standalone jar. Hold on, it's a README. I should probably revisit this README. I'm gonna go up with this. Sorry, I gotta have all my tabs in a certain spot or I won't find them. So we gotta build it. We've been doing the standalone jar. We could do this. But then I'd have to publish it to Maven or something like that. That seems like it would be a pain. So Super Jury says I embedded the jar according to these docs that we will look at now, I suppose. Yeah, they all had dependencies. What was it? Alright. You said it's fast XML that's missing? Let's take a look. Being is we're not using XML like in ChaosNet. That's kind of a trip. Alright, IntelliJ. We're going to take a look at ChaosNet and we're going to do a search for that and see where it's being used. Oops. There it is. Faster XML Jackson Core JSON token. I like how it's got a JSON thing. I mean, my standalone jar should have that in it, right? Let's look here. It's got that. Yeah, build the jar with all the dependencies bundled. So you'd think that the jar would have it in it. It's just not loading for some reason. Okay, sorry. Super Jerry says, for testing you can publish it to a local Maven, which is just on your PC. Third attempt sending it. YouTube, please don't block me. Well, it's in the jar, just not loading for some reason yet. When you build a standalone jar, Maven downloads dependencies and puts them in ChaosNet jar. That's what I thought. But it's just not loading for some reason. And it only happens when you try running it outside of IntelliJ, you're telling me? Super Jerry says, in parentheses, my ChaosNet API did not have this problem. Ah, he did write one that did not seem to have this problem. I'm not having this problem, but I primarily run from the IDE because I'm deving on it. All else fails, to start Googling stuff. Oh my god. Too many screens. Too many tabs. Let's see if other people are having this. Nope, that's not what we're looking for. Gotta get the actual name of this thing. Well, other people are having similar things, but it doesn't look specifically like it's like it. Like it's this. That's just gibberish. This looks like it's spot on. Ah. Closed due to inactivity. We could just add a dependency to... Hold on. Sorry. Because it's, you can see they don't really have a lot of dependencies specified in here for sub-dependencies. We could add this, except this is POM, isn't it? Because this is POM and we're using Gradle, maybe? Either way. So what about adding this? Let's see. How many epochs is I had it at 100,000. It should be like on the last 2 lines or something like that. 3 lines of the file. You'll see it. Alright, Super Jerry. I'm posting something in ChaosCraft. What if we added the dependency directly to Maven? This dependency. Because I'm pretty sure that includes... That will specify all packages that it needs inside of AWS, wouldn't it? Oh wait, no, here we go. I mean, should we just add all these to how about adding all those to ChaosCraft? Think that would do anything? I can't replicate this bug, so even if I do, it's not going to make a difference. That Super Jerry's busy blowing out his own computer right now. Evidently, you guys can't see that, but so yeah, he's Gebrug Schnell, whatever. I really should learn how to speak more Dutch, being as I'm going to be there in less than, well, in about a month. Alright, so it sounds like Super Jerry's gone off into left field and is working on Chaos Pixel right now, which is a fun project. So he's working on that. If anybody wants to try adding the stuff I gave you to your and try and compile a jar that'll run, be my guest. You know, you guys might want to add this, and then hopefully this will get built in with the thing. But again, I can't replicate this, which makes it very difficult for me to fight this one. Well, either way, it is now 1 o'clock, and I got a bunch of stuff to do this afternoon. So if you guys joined us late, sorry. Check out the beginning of it, where you could see my attempts to create an AI to generate pixel art, specifically cats and trees right now, but I plan to expand it far beyond that. And then, yes, next week, we'll have to work around the live cast, but I'm hoping to do that game jam. So if anybody's interested in joining or participating or whatever, we have a channel for the game jam that's coming up, or I guess any game jam in general. But expect to see more pixel art in the near future, and if that works out well, I may try and build a service around it, which I call Cast Pixel. So with that said, I leave you with this GIF. That looks kind of cool. Take care, everybody.